Have you ever stayed silent when your heart screamed to speak? Know you should say something? But fear keeps you frozen. What if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you're wrong? You've felt it, haven't you? That tight knot in your chest that stops your voice, that makes your words stay trapped inside. Today I want to tell you about a man just like you, a man who faced fear and learned a truth that changed his life forever. There was a man named Daniel, worked at a small office in a quiet town. On the surface, he seemed ordinary. But inside, he carried a secret. He was terrified of speaking up. Every meeting, every conversation, every time someone looked his way, his throat tightened, and he stayed silent. Daniel wanted to be noticed. He wanted to contribute. But the fear of being wrong, of making a fool of himself, held him back. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and still, he said nothing. One rainy Tuesday morning, the office buzzed with tension. The team was preparing for a big presentation to a potential client. Daniel's boss, Mr. Hayes, asked for ideas. Silence fell. Daniel felt the knot in his chest tighten. His mind raced. I have an idea, but what if it's stupid? His hands trembled slightly as he clutched his notebook. Around him, colleagues muttered half-formed thoughts, trying to fill the void. Daniel opened his mouth, then closed it again. Fear had won. As the meeting went on, the client's questions grew harder. The team struggled. Finally, Mr. Hayes asked Daniel directly, Daniel, what do you think? All eyes were on him. His heart pounded like a drum. He could almost hear it echo in the empty room. The words he'd rehearsed for days, the ones that could save the deal, stayed locked inside. He shook his head, murmured, I don't know, and sank back into his chair. Later that day, Daniel walked home in the pouring rain, feeling smaller than ever. The streets glistened under the streetlights, but he couldn't see their beauty. All he could see was his failure. The client had left unimpressed. His colleagues whispered behind his back. Daniel felt invisible. He sat on a park bench, the cold rain soaking through his coat, and thought, what if I always let fear speak for me? What kind of life is that? The next morning, something unusual happened. A young boy was trying to fly a kite in the park, but the wind was too strong. The string snapped, the kite soared away, and the boy started to cry. Daniel, without thinking, ran forward and caught the kite midair. The boy looked up at him with wide eyes. Thank you, he shouted. For the first time in months, Daniel spoke without fear. The words felt light, free, and powerful. He realized then that the voice he feared losing had always been inside him, waiting for a reason to break through. That evening, Daniel returned to the office with the memory of the kite in his mind. The next meeting began, and when Mr. Hayes asked for ideas again, Daniel took a deep breath. I have an idea, he said. This time the words flowed. He suggested a strategy that none of his colleagues had thought of. Everyone listened. The client smiled. The deal was saved, and Daniel felt something he had never felt before. Courage. It wasn't loud or flashy. It wasn't the absence of fear. It was the choice to act despite it. Fear is like a locked door, and your voice is the key. You are like that man sitting on the bench, staring at the rain, wondering if you'll ever be heard. Just like Daniel, you have a voice that matters. A single word, a single sentence, a single step can change everything. Fear is loud, but it is not stronger than your courage. Every time you refuse to speak, fear grows. Every time you speak, even once, fear shrinks a little. From that day on, Daniel never let fear silence him again. Still felt it. Sometimes his chest still tightened, his hands still trembled, but he spoke anyway. Projects succeeded, friendships deepened, and his life transformed. People noticed him not just for his ideas, but for his courage. And the best part? He realized that speaking up didn't make him perfect, it made him alive. He learned that silence may protect you from embarrassment, but it also steals your power. So what about you? Will you let fear speak for you? Or will you take that first word, that first step, that first breath of courage? Remember this: fear is the shadow. Your voice is the light. Step into it, and the darkness disappears. If this story spoke to your heart, subscribe to Moral Storyroom for a new story every week.